Stand up, wait, go. Mark is good. Right, go second.
They kick anything in goal area. Here's a chance. There's a try. It was brewing, and now it's brewed. First try for Lakes. Back to Adams. Comes out one. Away now to Kelly. He goes himself. He'll score. The 5/8's over. Here's an overlap. Can they get those points? They might just do it. They may have just done it. Mac Craig, will he be denied? No, he won't. It's touched. It's play on. Back away now to Kennedy. They're going to score in the corner. Josh Charles. Josh Charles has scored.
Well, it might be an empty stadium right now, but come Saturday, it will be jam-packed as the Carl faithful turn up here to support the Lakes United Seagulls.
Second,
it's
movement
finals
now.
football in the 2016 Newcastle Rugby League, and it all kicks off here on Saturday at 3 o'clock when Lakes take on the Kurri Bulldogs. We're expecting a huge crowd. And Bar TV Sports, of course, will be on air from 2:45. On Sunday, we go down to Merriweather. South take on Western Suburbs. So I hope you can join us right here on the home of Newcastle Rugby League for the 2016 Newcastle Chillies Cup Rugby League Final Series. Let's go downstairs and have a chat with Seagulls coach Dean Noonan. How would you recap 2016 so far?
Oh, I think for us as a footy team, very patchy. Very patchy. We've been good in some respects, and then we've been really poor in others, and we've just really struggled to find our consistency all year. I guess the good thing is we've really been able to acknowledge that, and hopefully moving forward into the final series, we can go as far as we possibly can.
I mean, there's no excuses, but is it always hard winning a premiership and then trying to back it up the year after? I guess it's foreign territory.
Yeah, look, you took the words right out of my mouth. Foreign territory for us, and for me personally. Everyone told us that.
On the whistle.
And, some guys that I respect certainly explained that to me along the way, and I'd have to agree. I'd have to agree. It's
movement now.
Lose that little bit of an edge or whatever it might be that desire that gets you there in the first place, and that's certainly been the case for us. And
let it go.
We're hoping we can find it back in, pretty quickly.
How tight the competition been this year? It's been phenomenal for the competition.
About
really
great. Let him up. Kick up at 17. You're good.
You can't pick from one week to the next who's going to turn up and who's not, and it's been a really tight competition.
Let him go now, 20.
If we can keep it like that, all the better for it.
Mate, let's talk football. This week you come up against the opposition. What's the game plan? What do you have to concentrate on?
Well,
never
on
talk
about hoodoo teams.
But
we haven't been able to get Kurri all year. No doubt they've got the wood on us. I think for us, it's probably about finding that consistency in our performance. Not having those patches in our game that sort of we lapse off and allow things to move away from what we want best. And it's probably also about having tremendous respect for the opposition. They're going to come down with a real purpose, and we need to be aware of that.
They've got the likes of CUC and Mick Campton. They just go the full 80, don't they?
They really do, and they've taught us that lesson, like I said, mate, so many times this year. With a draw and 2 losses to this team, that's one thing that we've noticed. We've stages. I think it was the first round we got them up there at Kurri. Sorry, we had them up there at Kurri, and we thought we had that game, and they weren't going anywhere. And they come back and pulled our pants down. So.
What would you say to the fans to get out here on the weekend?
Oh, look, you couldn't encourage that more. Everyone out there, particularly obviously our supporters. I think you could expect Kurri to bring a fair few down as well. If you're looking for a real spectacle in local footy, and we're hoping that that's the case this week.
It's the place to be.
Hope so. Yeah, for sure.
Mate, we've got South tackling West on Sunday as well. Another one that can go either way.
Yeah, toss your coin, honestly. South's coming into some really good form, and then we had West last week. Once again, thought that we had them, and they've found something in themselves that has decided, we're still well and truly here in this comp as well, and showed us what you should be showing teams at this time of year and wouldn't go away. So, look, mate, toss of a coin. I really couldn't pick it, mate.
Well, mate, on behalf of everyone at Bar TV and the Newcastle Rugby League, we just like to thank you, Dean.
Oh,
You know, you've been outstanding this year. You know, you've
Keep
come
going,
on
keep
camera,
going, keep
you've
going,
given
one
us
more
our
step.
thoughts,
You're good.
even
Wait,
after,
wait,
you know,
wait,
a
go.
loss. And, you know, that's great for the comp. And, mate, that's a true testament to who
Over
you
a
are. So we
second.
appreciate
Move
that.
it now.
We'll see you on Saturday.
No, look, it's a pleasure, mate, and it's credit to you guys. You know, I know the local community and everyone in the league's really getting
Over
behind
a
you guys
third.
and supporting
Let it
what
up,
you're
Bubba,
doing,
let
and
him
hopefully
up.
we can make it bigger and better. It's been a pleasure.
Got to get out of that run. Stop slowing down. Ball.
They kick it in the in goal area. Here's a chance. Okay, well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome along. This is finals football for the Newcastle Rugby League for 2016. And this afternoon, we are here in downtown Belmont, right on the peninsula. One side of the field, we have the lake. The other side of the field, we have the ocean. Where else would you rather be on a glorious winter afternoon here in Newcastle? You can just feel the spring in the air. The pollen and the bees are not too far away. Speaking of a little bit of flavour, we've got huge flavour in the commentary box this afternoon. A man all the way from Cessnock, Morgan Campbell. It's finals football. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Peter. It certainly is, and where in the world would you rather be? You're absolutely right. This is going to be a belter today. The form says Lakes, but the history says Kurri, if that makes sense. I mean, Kurri have been in pretty ordinary form going into this semi-final series. They got belted at Harker Oval by West. They only just snuck past Central out at St John, and then they got belted again last week by Cessnock. They come into this in pretty dreadful form, as I say, and Lakes haven't been too much better. You would think that their class would tell, but then in the 3 times they've played this year, it hasn't. Kurri have won 2 of them, and the other one was a draw. So this is a really hard one to tip, and I think Kurri are going to be really up for this today in front of the away crowd. But I think Lakes just have to get the chocolates.
Okay, well, down on the touchline this afternoon, he's back, ladies and gentlemen. Tom Taylor, of course, an official in our Newcastle Rugby League, and there's a few questions that we'll pose to Tom going into kick-off here today. But good afternoon to you, Tom.
Afternoon, Pete. I was just down watching the warm-ups, just watching Kurri Bulldogs. We had the forwards just bashing each other, and the outside backs were over in the corner just kicking the football to each other. So I don't think they wanted any part of the tackling practice before the game.
Mate, the ground, it's in absolute fine nick, isn't it, out here today?
Yeah, it's not in bad order. I mean, I think it's better for the rain, Pete. I think I was talking to the referee earlier, Tom Aylett, and he said he was a bit concerned over the last few weeks that Carl Oval's been very hard and some players have been banging their heads pretty hard and strong contact with the ground. But a bit of rain this morning's probably done it a bit of good. It's a little bit softer. It's a bit patchy, but I mean, it's. I noticed, talking about ground improvements, I had a bit of a spray on here a couple of weeks ago about the fact that there's no scoreboard. Sorted, you'll notice on the far side there. We've got a scoreboard installed, completely new. So there you go.
There's a little bit of a background story. I don't know if it's false or if it's true, but Tom, you were telling me off air a little bit about this scoreboard. What's your take on it, mate?
Well, we were just having a chat before the day, and we were like, I wonder if they used the money that Brad Murray was fined to the club. The $200 that Brad Murray had to pay Lakes United, they've just put it to good use, and well, we might give everyone a scoreboard. That way there's no confusion.
Mate, there's been a lot of press about the Brad Murray saga, if you want to call it that way. What's your take on it? Is it a load of crap?
Well, yeah, it's a bit of Chinese whispers, Pete. Obviously, that there was we weren't very happy with the result, with Brad Murray getting off, and there was just a bit of concern. So we sent an email to Newcastle Rugby League just asking them to review it, just nice and polite. And for somehow the word got out that we were going to boycott, which was entirely false. That was never going to happen. But word got out, it was on the Herald, and yeah, just spread from there.
Okay, well, thanks for clearing that up, Tom. Live and exclusive right here. We love to go digging behind the big stories, and a big story ended up being an absolute fizzer this week, leading into finals football.
I sort of think it's a bit of a shame, Pete. I mean, if there'd have been a referee's boycott, I might have had to referee and you might have had to run the line. That might have been it. Otherwise, it would have been a pretty quiet afternoon, I'd have thought.
And of course, Tom Taylor would have given us a few tips along the way.
At the well, we're always giving them to him, so I'd imagine he would have.
All right, well, we might go through the sides as they'll take to the field here in the elimination semi-final. For the Kurri Bulldogs, they look this way. At fullback is Ryan Walker. On the wings is Cameron Moran and also Joel Harrison. The 3 and 4 is Kate Hardy and Nick Howe. 6 and 7 is Cullen and Terence CU. Campton Willie was scheduled to play in the jersey number 8, but apparently they've got new jerseys this week, the Kurri Bulldogs, and they've just found out 30 minutes ago that good old Campton, all 120 kilos of him, he can't fit in the jersey of number 8 there, Tom. So he's now going into 19, mate.
I can't remember the last time Campbell actually wore the number 8. He's been in 19 or 18 the whole season.
There you go. Well, Corey Holman, he'll drop into 9. Gilmore in 10. Jaden Young 11. Hammond in 12. And Wyborn in 13. The interchange bench for the Bulldogs looks this way. Joel McCain, Hayden Granger, Mick Steele and Peter Cronin.
Strong side there for Kurri. I mean, there's some big inclusions there. Ryan Walker in the fullback position. He's been playing New South Wales Cup for the Knights for most of this season, so he's a big inclusion for them. And I noticed Terence CUC is playing halfback. He hasn't played a lot of that over the last couple of years. I can only assume that he's been pushed to halfback because Corey Holman's been playing so well in the number 9. And I recall when they played Lakes a few weeks ago, Corey Holman had an absolute blinder. So I think he's made himself undroppable. And I notice he's already scored 2 tries in his short career with Kurri. So it's a strong side for them today. It's about the best team they could put on the paddock.
So the Lakes United Seagulls, of course, they're the defending premiers in our Newcastle Rugby League competition. Although they've only won 1 match of their last 5, going down over the last few weeks to Western Suburbs. I think they went down to Macquarie twice, and also the Kurri Bulldogs. The Seagulls, they have not been able to get a victory over Lakes, over the Kurri Bulldogs all season. Of course, they last met back in round 4 and both sides managed a 14-all draw back then. They had the wood on Lakes again, Kurri, in round 8 at the Graveyard by 20 points to 16, and then they met only a few weeks ago in round 12. Kurri too good on that day by 18 points to 12. So coming into this clash, the Bulldogs have won 3 of their last 5. Let's go through the Seagull side as they'll take to the field here in front of their home fans. At fullback we have Goulmere. On the wings is Varka and Matt Craig. Charles and Ikonofo in 3 and 4. Sullivan and Murray in 6 and 7. Kurtley Hoggett will go to 8. Chris Adams in his second game back after being dumped by the Newcastle Knights. Let's see if he can spark something and get this side going forward. Casey Burgess in 10. Dylan Harton in 11. Chris Randall, 4 tries, unusual for a big bloke in the front in the second row. He's 0 for 5. Cesack in 13, Kelly in 14, Burgess 15, Boss 16, Ben Sams in 17, and Dean Noonan is the coach. So we see his side coming out onto the field right now.
Yeah, it's a strong side. I mean, they've settled a couple of the selection things that have been going on all season. They've been sort of tossing up between the 5'8" from last year's premiership winning team, Jay Sullivan, who's played a lot of 5'8", and also Jack Kelly, who's been in the team in that position a few times through the year. They've been throwing up between Cole Kennedy and Jamie Goulmere at fullback. They've settled on Jamie Goulmere here for this knockout game. And I think it pretty much goes without saying, Chris Adams is a tremendous player to have coming back. I think he's got a very strong claim to be the best player in this competition. And to have him back into the side, it's no coincidence that Lake's form started to go a bit wobbly just after he left. And you would imagine it'll start to turn back around today with him back in the team.
Well, this is finals football. And a massive audience here this afternoon at the ground live, and a massive audience around the globe, wherever you might be. A warm welcome through Fairfax Media, taking our finals coverage in 2016. Our coverage wouldn't be possible without topbetter.com.au, Benedict Waste Recycling, and Cornelia's Crumps. So this is semi-final football. We'll go around the commentary side. Who do you like today, Tom?
Mate, I can't go past Lakes, unfortunately. As much as I like Kurri, I think Lakes are going to have too much for them, just being at home. Kurri haven't had much success away from home this year, so yeah, I'm going to say Lakes by 10.
Morgan?
Wait for the whistle.
Yeah, I think it has to be Lakes. I think they've just got a little bit more class. They're very, very good in knockout games. We saw that last year. They'd find themselves behind and they'd get themselves home. But I think Kurri are going to really put in today and hit hard, especially early.
So finals football 2016 is underway. And the home side finishing
fourth on the competition ladder, have first use of the football, and the Kurri Bulldogs, they're in numbers.
One
Led,
now,
of course, by
Marcus
Mick
stand.
Steele. There's
Hold
Chris
go.
Adams, and his second game back, passing it away to Marcel Ikanofo.
Mark a movement. Get up. Here, step.
A try-scoring freak, Marcel, and a touching story throughout the week that I'll share with you throughout the coverage
Release
as well.
Now, don't turn him. Release.
Marcel
That's good.
Ikanofo, look out for him today as they approach the 40-metre line.
Four.
And that's
Mark it
Kurri
up.
Hoggets playing it back now to Adams. They work it towards halfway, so they've been able to come 45 metres in their first set of 6 here in elimination semi-final football. Back it comes now to Murray. He's going to put in the kick downfield, and it finds Cameron Moran. He's running across field before they're there to meet him and taking him into the ground sideways. Taken into the ground, of course, by the kicker on that occasion in Murray.
Yeah, good steady start there from Lakes. Nothing too silly. They just got through their tackles, knocked it into the corner, and that's probably how they're going to play today. For Kurri, it's going to be really interesting to see how they can get their attack together. When they're on, there's really nothing like them. They can throw the ball around. They can cause a lot of chaos in opposition defences. We've seen that against Lakes a couple of times this year when they get their back line going and when they hang on to the ball. If they don't hang on to the ball, it could be a very long afternoon.
We'll come down to Tom Taylor at the end of this set of 6 as Kurri here.
Wait, you made it. Wait. Don't play it
Down
on him.
inside
Don't milk
Lakes'
it.
territory. Look for the kick off the boot of Terrence. He's going to put a little
Nine.
stab kick. That's Varker out there. And James will come away and beat the first line. He's trying to beat the second line. Tremendous run here by James Varker as we go down to the touchline. Tom Taylor, you're about 20 metres away from where Varker is right now.
Yeah, mate, I'm just having a look at Terrence Seagulls, who just put that kick in, and he's got his left knee heavily strapped. So I think Kurri were very fortunate to have him back as soon as now, because early reports were that he was going to be out for the season, Pete.
Thanks, Tom. Tom's down on the sideline. Thanks to Benedict Waste Recycling. Live coverage of the Newcastle Rugby League final series unfolding on our first week of finals football, culminating in grand final week with a big presentation breakfast, I understand, as they look to come wide. That's Charles looking for Varker. That's Varker, runs straight into Moran, and that's the last tackle here. So what are they going to do? Look for an air raid. Here it comes. Murray goes high to the air. This ball might bounce. Which ways are going to bounce? Not so favourably for either side, but luckily Kurri were there to collect the dribbling ball. So first penalty here, Morgan, about 20 metres out from the Bulldogs' goal line.
Yeah, I was just thinking as that kick went down, there were a few Lakes chasers offside there, and correctly given, I think, by Tom Aylett. And this is a real chance here for Kurri to get away from their own end. I mean, it must be difficult for Lakes today. They wouldn't have expected to be in this game. Even 6 weeks ago when they were pushing for the minor premiership, they would never have expected to be in the 4th versus 5th death match in the first week of the semis. So it's going to... This is going to be hard for them today, and Kurri could come and ambush them, especially if they start fast.
Come on, a step.
Lovely passing work. This is Terrence Seagulls. That's exactly what you just spoken about there, Morgan, and it happened on the field. So they're tackled now about 34 metres out. Adams will get off him. Adams is trying to take into the ground there Wyborn. And Wyborn finally comes back and knocks him into the ground. It's a pretty sandy pitch. Back there now to Terrence. Cuts out one, finds Walker. He's played a lot of New South Wales Cup this year for the Newcastle Knights. Ryan Walker. Comes back then out to Terrence Seagulls, away through the back line. They're angling it forward. That's Mick Steele. He's inside the 20. Last tackle now for the Bulldogs. Comes back there now to Cullen. Lost opportunity. Gone begging for the Bulldogs. Capitalised there by the Seagulls. 5 out from their own line.
Well, I think there was a bit of an indication there about how Kurri are going to play. I mean, they're the side, they're the roughies today, aren't they? There's no pressure on them. They finished 5th. They're not expected to go further than this game by most people. They can chuck the ball around, and we saw that there. Quick passing from the 50-metre line, inside ball, offload, all that stuff, and then trying to get it wide. You're going to see some pretty entertaining footy from Kurri today, and it's just going to be a question of whether it all comes off for them.
Let's go touchline to Tom Taylor, mate. This grandstand is absolutely packed here this afternoon.
Behind the line.
Yeah, it's packed, and it's very noisy as well. That's all I can hear. I think the grandstand is more deafening than the players at the moment. We just saw a penalty given out. Ball was stripped out too in the tackle, so that'll give Lake some field position now as they work their way into Kurri's half.
Through Hoggets. Taken into the ground there by Young. So 32 metres out, that's Adams. He'll go from dummy half. He'll look, he'll chance his luck through Burgess. And they're inside the 20. So Lakes, real opportunity for them. 6 minutes gone. Elimination semi-final. Murray comes out the back door. That's Charles. He's gone without it. Scooped up by Moran. They've dodged a bullet, the Bulldogs, and come away with it 20 metres out from their own line. Now running it forward is their lock forward in Wyborn. High shot. Was it a high? Let's go down to the touchline. Tom Taylor, what's happening here through Tommy Aylett, who's accidentally, well, not accidentally, he's playing he's officiating in his 200th game here this afternoon.
Yeah, mate, 200 first grade games for Tommy Aylett. Those games come across between the Penrith Rugby League Association and our Newcastle Association here. Yeah, we just had a short whistle there. I thought he was going to pull off a forward pass, but obviously he's seen the tackle was made high, and he's given a correct penalty for that as Kurri make their way to halfway.
That's Jaden Young for the Bulldogs, right on the halfway line here. Comes back there now to Nick Howe. Of course, the son of Tuara Nick Howe, who, of course, is New Zealand legendary and played for the Cronulla Sharks in the National Rugby League competition. So Hammond gets it back to Terrence. They come out to the left, finding Walker. And they drop down here around 25 metres away from the opposition's line. CU kicking. They're coming through. They're coming through. Can they get the ball? Where's Goulmy? There he is at the back. But, everything happened there.
Yeah, he said knock on against, I think, Moran there, possibly. Or Holman, it is in the 9. Yeah, quite right. Holman there just knocking it on. But again, this is going to be Kurri today. The trick shot, that was early in the tackle count. The little kick in behind. That's what we can expect for them.
Well, we came out to training on Thursday night. We spoke to Dean Noonan, the coach of Lakes. He summed up 2016 thus far as very patchy. He said obviously it was foreign territory, winning a grand final. He said a lot of people told him in the off-season coming into this year that it would be difficult. He didn't quite agree with them, but he's certainly agreeing with them now.
I suspect he didn't expect to lose his hooker for 6 weeks either, to be fair.
That's true.
They probably never warned him about that.
And I guess that is the turning point of their season, one might say, Morgan. He went over to Newcastle Knights. He had that opportunity. Didn't quite go to plan. He was promised first grade. He had a few opportunities. Adams, as we see a great bust made by D-Sacks. They're away. They're down inside the 30. They're coming down to Walker. Walker takes him on and takes D-Sacks into the ground. Here come the home side.
Kurri's line's back well.
They're back to the left. This is the way they come. That's Murray. Cuts a long pass. Away it comes now to Farker. It's gone forward. The crowd boo.
Yeah, it looked like a good call there from Tom Aylett. The ball went spiralling over there to Varka, but he took it a fair way in front of where it was thrown. Good shout from Tom Aylett. And Kurri, they did well to get back in defence, to get back on their own line, and then they got a little bit scrambled out on that right-hand edge and very nearly conceded a try. So that's a bit of a worry for them. But James D-Sacks there, as you say, one-on-one effectively, just bumping his way through. And if Kurri are going to miss tackles like that in the middle, they're going to struggle. You mentioned about Adams. I mean, the thing about him, it doesn't make Lakes a one-man team that they need him. It just means that he's so important to them because he's getting the ball 5 times a set. He keeps them ticking over. He turns the forwards' momentum into attack, all of those things, So he's huge to have back on the side.
So both of these sides putting on a good demonstration of rugby league so far.
Good tackle. Movement.
If you haven't heard the news, we're heading to Hunter Stadium for our second year for the grand final. For many a year, our grand final was played at the, a lot of people would say, the birthplace of Newcastle Rugby League, #1 sports ground. We've dabbled with a few fixtures and grand finals at Harker Oval over the years, but we're back to Hunter Stadium for our second year. Get on down if you can. Support the Newcastle Rugby League, not just on grand final day, but right through the entire semi-final series. Goulmy at the back. 7 tries this year from the electrifying fullback. Look out for him today when he can get going. If he is able to get back up and play on here. He's hurt in that tackle. We've got time off. Let's go touchline. Tom Taylor.
Yeah, mate, just going back to what we spoke about before about Chris Adams missing for 6 weeks. I'm not going to say that's an acceptable excuse, Pete, because if you look at all the top 5 teams, they've all had star players out injured. Look at West, they've had Chad Redmond out for the season, also Steve Gordon. South's Liam Higgins went down midway through the year, so they had to spend a few times without him, and Todd Hurrell also went down. What other teams are there? There's a few more. They've all had injuries.
Macquarie, of course, they've gone through their patches as well.
Well, Macquarie had to play the first half of the season without their halfback, Scott Briggs. So he injured himself in the pre-season.
That's true, Tom. Although, just saying that, just looking at this man now, Adams, he just gets them going forward quickly. You know, they run off him. They can get easy meters demonstrated like that and set up by that man right now in Chris Adams, and he'll take the line on, demonstrated perfectly there. He's not afraid to do the hard yards, but unfortunately, he does have a little bit of a knock-on in his game at times.
He let you off the hook, Pete. Tom Aylett's got you out of jail there because that was very nearly the quintessential commentator's curse, but it's been given as a knock-on against Kurri with the ball being jarred out in that tackle.
Tapped out, was it? Yeah.
So this is a good chance. 35 out, centre field for Lakes to set an attack up. They got a lot of weapons, don't they? I mean, Josh Charles, and we've had one look at it already with an offload he threw earlier. When you think he's tackled, he very rarely is tackled. He sort of finds a way to get out of the tackle and throw the offloader. Very hard to put away. They got plenty of strike all over the field.
Going through the stats leading into this game, I find it a staggering stat that Chris Adams is scoreless in 2016. I find that phenomenal. Just because of his electrifying work that he can create from dummy half. But I'll tell you what, he has set up many a try, that's for sure.
There's a really good tackle there, Pete. Timed down Nick our one-on-one with, I think it was Varka, and he just wrestled him to the ground. He would have been second favourite going into that one. Did well.
So Chris Adams again, going into dummy half. Inching their way down inside the 30-metre line. So 12 minutes gone here in the elimination semi-final as they turn it back on the inside to Marcel. He can run, he can step, he can weave and create havoc.
Only about 4 tackle busts there.
That's Adams. Here's another penalty, just slow to get off. So they're building momentum here, Lakes. Good sign if you're a Lakes fan watching our coverage across the globe and throughout the Fairfax Media Organisation. Warm welcome to the Newcastle Rugby League. There is that man again in Adams. They're going short. They're trying to bash and barge their way over as our cameras go right into that tackle here. That's Adams again, looking around, finding Murray. He goes himself, Bradley, and he's going to be dumped sideways there from Jaden Young. So 8 metres away from the opposition's line. They're mounting an attack. Comes back. I think that's Randall trying to reach out in 12. He's dropped down on his back 2 metres out there building. Here's the kick from Adams. It was touched and grounded luckily there. I think you'll find that was Terrence getting there and saving the day for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, it was. That was a good set of defence from Kurri. They held Lakes off well there. Lakes starting a set 35 out. They had every chance to try and bash their way through. They used a bit of guile and a bit of brawn there. And neither of them worked. That was good application from Kurri.
There you go.
So we speak about the pendulum.
But they're going to have to do it all again.
Yeah, it's swinging back into Lakes' favour here. They're building inside opposition's half. That's the 20-metre line. 14 minutes elapsed. Adams finding Casey Burgess.
Tackle 2, Marcus.
4 tries this season.
Good.
Adams again, looking around. That's Murray out. Oh, what a shot on Gurlmere. Loses the ball. Picked up by Walker. And he turns defence into attack before he's crunched, of course, there by Josh Charles.
Great hit back on the inside there, Terrence CUC. That was the sort of tackle that forces a turnover just by the sheer force of the tackle. Interesting, Ryan Walker in the side here today for Kurri. We mentioned it earlier. He's been playing New South Wales Cup. I'm curious to see how he goes because on the one hand, I mean, it's great that they've got this classy player who's one of the better players in the competition in the side, but then he hasn't been training with them all year. And so coming into fullback, it's a very important position. He's going to see a lot of ball. Is the attack going to come together if he hasn't been part of the training all year?
Marcus, separate!
So that's the 40-metre line they're about to go over. That's Kate Hardy.
4, Lakes, away, 7. Get up. Wait, good.
Leading goal scorer for the Bulldogs.
Outside, chases are
They're going to kick away from Marcel. The ball goes between him and the fullback in Jamie Gurlmere.
Tackle one,
And
off his
Gilmore
leg. 13 step.
relieves
Off
the
for you.
ball.
Kurri, go, you're right.
Comes back and plays it back to Craig, who gives it away to
Tackle two.
Marcel.
Good tackle.
There's a touched on there. Beautiful story coming out of the heart and the soul of Marcel. He was at a Walls End shopping centre throughout the week. He saw a homeless guy out the front in the pouring rain. He felt
Inside.
he had to do something.
40-20's on
It's
here,
a
Peter.
40-20. Will he kick it into touch? And we'll continue that
He
story.
has.
What a kick. What a kick. 40-20. Impressive stuff.
Big chance here with the tap kick.
But we're waiting, no quick restart.
But yeah, Marcel actually went across to
you're
McDonald's and bought the guy
No,
a family feast and gave it to him, and the homeless man just started crying. But the whole point of that story is Marcel, he's just one of those guys, like a lot of other guys that we all know, that will just give back to anybody. And so good on you, Marcel. Beautiful, touching story
One,
throughout
off
the
his
week,
legs.
mate.
Marcus
And
off the ball and separate.
a lot of people would be able to learn from that. Murray cuts out one. Oh, there was an intercept on, but he couldn't quite get it, Moran, Tom.
Yeah, mate, I'm just standing near the Lakes bench there, and dead set. When Cam Moran reached out to catch that ball, their hearts all went up their throats. They thought he was away. A couple of them stood up and they were going to start chasing him from the bench, I think. But that crowd in the grandstand, they just lifted when they kicked that 40-20. So imagine what it's going to be like if Lakes can score a try in this set.
Right, guys,
So Tom Taylor.
Well, there could have been a try at either end of the ground there, because if Cameron Moran grabs that, he's away. And they're very lucky indeed, Lakes, to be getting this back.
6 in each. Let's go, locks in. Get it in. Out.
Come to short side, Charles.
One now, off his
He had
leg.
Varka.
Good.
Couldn't quite give it to him. Comes back there now to Murray. They're up quickly. Could feel that impact there on Randall, but he was able to do a 360.
2. Stand up, cross.
Go another 2 or 3 metres. Now to Adams. Finding the 5/8 in Sullivan. Oh, they're getting closer, aren't they?
Oh, Balmain fans will be having visions of Mick Neal there, 1989 grand final, the 5/8 throw on the dummy and getting ankle tapped. He looked certain to score there.
So Burgess across now to Murray. Here's a chance. Charles, he throws the dummy and goes himself and scores the first try. Oh, the crowd love it. It's 4-0 in the elimination semi-final.
Well, they had the numbers, didn't they? But Josh Charles, he had to be classy enough to get there, threw the big dummy and suck it in. Everybody, including myself, I must say. Everybody thought he was going to pass there, and he just strolled over to put the ball down. They've been ragged on that side a couple of times, Kurri, on that right edge of their defence. And with players of the quality of Charles and Varka out there, if they're going to be outnumbered, they're going to lose a lot of points.
As we get down the touchline with Tom Taylor, that's his 6th try in 2016.
There's a good one too, Pete. Very risky trying to throw a dummy when you got a 2-on-1 like that. If he had thrown that dummy and Moran had tackled him, he would have looked like a fool. But Cam Moran knew that he wanted 2 bites at the cherry. He wanted to go for the intercept again. And I think Charles, that may have played in his head when he threw that dummy, that Cameron Moran is going to go for this because he went for the one before and nearly got the cherry in the end.
Oh, Josh Charles, an absolute excitement machine. A little talk throughout the year that he was eyeing off a potential National Rugby League contract. I know he asked for a show reel to be produced from the Bar TV sports production team. So
Would have been plenty of material. He's had a good year.
he's probably just filthy that try is not in it. Here's the kick
Have
now.
to do a director's cut version.
Bradley Murray, this to make it his 48th goal in 2016. He's bringing it back around. It looks good. He's got it. What a goal from the near touchline there from Brad Murray. 112 personal points. It's 6-0 here on the Bar TV scoreboard.
He's a fine goal kicker, isn't he, Brad Murray? He brings that ball around. He's got a lovely style. And he's one of those kickers that you really back in the clutch. We've seen him do it a few times late in a game. But on this occasion, doing it early in the game and giving Lakes a 6-point lead.
Stay behind the pill.
So we're back here. Elimination semi-final. Loser bows out of the competition for 2016. Stay with us. This game hanging in the balance midway through the first half here. Thanks to Top Editor, our broadcast partner. That's Marcel. Takes the tackle there. Beyond his own 30-metre line. Plays it back now to Chris Adams. Goes to the right-hand side.
Play on, I think, here.
So there it is, play on, they're coming through. Walker, well, that's class of Walker. He knew he had no chance of taking the ball, but he had to take the tackle.
it might be class, but it's foul luck for Kurri. I mean, that sort of thing. It's one of those things you see every so often in a football game. I might get Tom to talk about it more than me, but yeah, very unlucky for Kurri to be 20 metres behind when it should have been a knock on.
Yeah, man, I was just watching the rest of the Lakes players when that happened, and they all stopped. They all thought it was going to be a knock on, but there was two people on this field that were smart enough to know that was play on, and that was the referee, Tom Maylett, and whoever kicked the ball. I'm not sure who it was, but I couldn't see his number from there. But we got, was it Matt Craig, was it? Right. Yep, well, we've got two smarties on the field now.
So Adams finding Murray. He's going to kick. Charles is coming through. It's on the ground. It's play on, says Aylett.
Got to hang on in here, Kurri. It's 6 more tackles.
So Murray finding D-Sacks.
Even early on, Pete, 12-0 against this lot. It's a long way back.
Aiming towards the middle. Sullivan out quickly. They've jolted the ball free.
Another 6 more.
6 more tackles now for Lakes. Burgess.
Tom's throwing the knuckle like he was out there, giving the 6 more up in the grandstand here.
Oh, they're up quickly. Well, he lost the ball before he was poleaxed. Oh, now walk. Oh, Terrence couldn't quite get it.
Goodness
Tom
gracious.
down the sideline. An exciting moment. Unstuck.
Very exciting, but I think Kurri fans can breathe a sign of relief here. They're going to get the ball back because we had a Lakes knock on first, and then Mick Campton picked up the ball, decided he wants to run 90 metres, but unfortunately he only made 4. So no advantage there, and we're taking the ball back for a scrum. Kurri feed.
Heaven help if some of these passes start sticking for Kurri, because that was insanity. I mean, they were 5 out from their own line, and Mick Campton decides that he's Cooper Cronk and tries to throw the short ball there and put someone through a gap. Dear, oh dear. They're going to take some risks, and it's either going to work and they're going to be into the next round, or it's not going to work and they're going to be going home. And I mean, they're gambling, and if it comes off for them, we're going to have a very entertaining afternoon.
So it looks like Hayden Granger is coming off the bench to be going onto the field right now.
Yeah, I think that's Holman. It looks like Corey Holman is coming off. The thing for Kurri here is that they're giving away too many penalties, and they're also they're getting dominated in the middle. I mean, the field position's that way for a reason. Lakes just keep marching down the field. So Curry's forwards, particularly in defence, really need to lift.
Here's a penalty.
That might help.
This will help their cause. 12 metres out from their own line. So we've got 18 minutes and 35 seconds remaining here in the first half of the Tooheys Cup. The first week of finals football right here on the home of Newcastle Rugby League, Bar TV Sports. Hit us up on Twitter at Bar TV Sports. Engage with us if you've got a question for Morgan or the commentary team or Tom Taylor down on the touchline. Make sure that you send it through. We love engagement. And we've got it in the best form here. They're a little bit offside, I think, there, Tom, right in front of you down the touchline.
Nah, Nick Howe's just balked to play the ball. That's all he wanted, was everyone to just go early and be offside. But, hey, if you're going to do that, then they can be offside.
As they come the short side, this is Hayden Granger. They're a little bit on this side. Looks like they're inching their way in front of Tommy Taylor as play continues out here to Cullen. He goes himself. Great ball. They're inside the 20. Heyman throws the dummy. Still going. He'll score.
Oh, it's a beauty.
What a fantastic Bulldogs try.
Oh, that's an absolute perler. Brady Hammond there strolling through off the ball from Mitch Cullen. And if I was an outside back or a big second rower in this Kurri side, I'd be getting as close to Mitch Cullen as possible. And that's exactly why, because he's got a lot of class close to the line through that lovely short ball. And Hammond had a hell of a lot to do as well. Had to get past a couple of defenders, had to have the pace. And Kurri, well, they've had a wobbly start. They haven't had much luck, but they're about to be all square.
Oh, Tommy down on the sideline. I can't see you. Mate, you're in that smoke that he's left behind.
Yeah, mate, right next to the Kurri Bulldogs bench when that happened. And I dead set I got soaking wet. They just threw their drink bottles up everywhere. Got to dry myself off.
Benny Wyborn's 100th here today as well. So congratulations to Benny Wyborn. So Cade Hardy now with the kicking duties as he's had for the entire 2016 season. A phenomenal season for Cade. The Bulldogs' highest point scorer. 5 tries this season. Not a bad goal kicker as well, and eats these up for breakfast. Right in front of the post. Kicking towards the southern end of Carl Oval. And he makes no mistake. So we're locked up. What a match. Elimination day. 6-all here. Week 1, 16 minutes to go first half.
Well, it's not going the way I thought it would go, I must say. I thought Kurri had come out really hard and really bombard Lakes at the start, and Lakes had worked their way back into it. It's sort of gone the opposite way. Lakes have started very brightly, had a lot of field position and a lot of ball, and I must say, after 20 minutes where they didn't see much of it, Kurri were doing very well. Oh, hang on, danger here, danger here. He's walked that out. He's walked that over the dead ball line there as Cameron Moran, and this is going to be a dropout for Kurri. So everything I was saying about them doing pretty well to be 6-all, well, it might not be true for long.
Touchline, let's go down to Tom Taylor.
Something odd just happened there, Pete. Cameron Moran caught the ball, and being this is a soccer ground too, it looks like there is 2 dead ball lines. So there's one about 7 metres past the try line and then another one 2 metres further. Now Cameron's got the ball and he's had the foot on the first dead ball line, which is in fact the soccer goal line. So the ball's still in play, and unfortunately he just thought to himself he's run the ball dead, so he kept walking. And then he's taken the ball really dead and just forfeited possession. That's just unlucky from Cam Moran there.
So the paint has been Kurri's worst friend there, Morgan.
I've got to say, you'd think in a semi-final you could make sure that something like that doesn't happen. I mean, paint over the line, for goodness sake.
Quirkiness in all its glory here. Great tackle there on Jay Sullivan.
The players have got enough to worry about without whether or not it's the right line.
That's D-Sax. Did you bring your paintbrush, Morgan? We might need you to drop down to Bunnings, mate. As we see now, Gulmere. Great ball. Varka. He'll score. James is in. He knows where the try line is. He didn't get mixed up. He didn't know about the paint before, but he knew about the paint that time because he had to get the ball down before the dead ball line, and he did.
Yeah, he did very well, Varka there. But it was all about, I mean, you have a look at that. The pass from Adams to Murray was about 20 metres, and then the pass from Murray to Gulmere was about another 20 metres. So from the middle of the field, or probably to the right of the posts, they've ended up on the wing in 3 passes.
Yes.
And that's the quality of their inside halves and their dummy half, getting that wide pass and giving them that space. They took a lot of defenders out with only 2 men there, and that was what opened it up for Varka.
Yeah, massive holes. We go down to the touchline to Tom Taylor.
Yeah, mate, the Boomers just called. They want Jamie Gilmore's signature with that basketball pass at the end, straight over the top to Varka. That was brilliant stuff.
Morgan, I'm a bit worried about you, mate.
What's wrong?
You usually bring a microphone. I'm very upset that you haven't brought a paintbrush with you today. You usually you are our jack of all trades here in the box.
I must say, if I'd known that this sort of thing was going to be going on, if you look, I mean, look behind the goalposts. They've got the 18-yard.
Here's the kick. Hold that thought. He's got it. No, he hasn't. He's missed it.
If you look now, the dead ball line, the original dead ball line, the one that Moran thought was the dead ball line, that's the byline for the soccer field, right?
Right.
But worse than that, there's a 12-yard box, a 6-yard box, pardon me, and it is about a yard behind the NRL try line.
Right.
So if someone goes over under the post, they're going to think that second one is the try line. Or to the right of the post. It's bizarre. Surely the real NRL has to have some responsibility for this. If it's a semi-final game and they're making the gate takings, I mean, surely to heavens they have to make sure that there's only football lines on the field.
Tom on the sideline, have you been able to speak to the curator here this afternoon?
No, I just wanted to bring up a fun fact. A few years ago I was refereeing an open age here, and a guy was tackled on the try line, and I've stepped back ready to award it, and he gets up to play the ball thinking he's a metre short. So it's been like this for a few years, boys.
Well, if that's the case, it was only going to be so long before something like this happened. I mean, that Kurri were back in the game. And something like that happens, and now they're 12-6 behind, and look, Lakes are rolling up the middle of the field again. It's terribly unlucky for them.
Is that the 40-metre line, Morgan?
Look, let's say it is.
Okay.
Who would know?
I think that's going down inside the 10. They're inside the square box here. Let's go down to Tom Taylor.
Right, maybe.
Tom, what's happening down on the sideline, mate?
Oh, just pointing out to everyone that it's in that box here, the fullback's allowed to pick it up with his hands.
Tom Taylor.
We're in the presence of greatness. I've just noticed Paulie's just turned up and is sitting in the front row of the grandstand. Goodness me.
He is, mate. Good spot.
He walked past me before, And I dead set hurt my neck looking him in the eye. He's huge.
He's Big Bird. Big Bird's got nothing on him as they turn it back over here. So let's see. Leading into half-time, what do we got? 11 minutes remaining here as Adams turns it away to James Desax. Rolling it down to the 20-metre line. Adams giving it away now to, is that the 15 in Chance Burgess? 16. That's Boss. Adams coming away now to Desax, finding Murray. Here they come again. Charles. Can he offload? He does. Varka wrapped up and taken backwards.
All trouble here. We've got an injury and we're going to have a stoppage. I'm just trying to, I think it might be Cameron Moran. Oh no, it's down Nicow who's down. And he's just getting to his feet now, but there was a bit of concern there from the Kurri players. Terence CUC alerted the ref immediately and the trainers are coming out. So
while we're
he's
blowing
just
up
getting to his
about
feet, but he
whiteness here today, now I know the Seagulls have been around for a long time before we've been streaming football, and I guess it's a commentator's thing to know who's who. White numbers on a white strip, 50 metres away, very tough, Tom. I know you've been to OPSM throughout the week.
Hang on, it's not a white strip. I mean,
Well,
I can cop that. It's a
white
little,
collar.
It's a little bit difficult, I suppose. I think you're being a bit precious, Peter. Quite frankly,
Precious?
you got to be professional and get on with it. Here we go, big chance here for Lakes.
Spoken from Morgan Campbell.
You boys have got nothing to whinge about because you make a mistake with the number, nothing happens. I'm out there, I make a mistake with the number, and all hell breaks loose. So I agree, though. White numbers on a yellow shirt, something's wrong.
Yeah, thank you, Tom. Here's a chance. There's a try. Fingers on a white ball. That's a try any day of the week. Great contrast. Brilliant try. They're up by 4.
Well, I think that was Chance Burgess who put that grubber through.
Did I just hear you say, who's that?
I think, well, I can't.
You couldn't see the numbers,
Yeah,
could
the
you?
numbers.
Yeah, exactly.
That was Chance
Exactly. My point exactly.
Well, I'm fairly certain that was Chance Burgess in 15, who has got the ball there, and with the kicking licence on the line, has decided to grubber it into the in goal, spotted that there was no one home, and he was able to just waltz over. Like he was walking the dog on a Saturday afternoon and fall on the ball. There wasn't anyone anywhere near it. That was a lovely bit of work. You don't expect that sort of thing from front rowers, but that's lovely play. And all of a sudden, Lakes are in front 14-6 with a kick to come. All because of those lines.
Tom, I think Morgan's just dug a hole, mate. How about that comment? Who was that try scorer? We could see the numbers, we just couldn't see who it was because of the whiteness, mate.
Oh, that's right, that's right. And couldn't have come at a better time, too. Poor Morgan's up here just making a fool of himself.
Classical Morgan Campbell. That was one of your best,
That's
mate.
all right, Morgan.
That's a highlight in itself.
That's on the reel for the presentation night.
Thanks, Tom, down there for Benedict Waste Recycling. Would you like that reply, Morgan? He's waiting for it. Morgan is professional. He knows the speeches. He knows about the secret of the pause, and he knows when to come back. So we better be on our game, Tom. It's about the tone. It's the inflection, mate. It's not always about the upward inflection. With Morgan, it's the downward inflection, and it's that stare of death.
Have a look at this. I reckon that's Chance Burgess carting it up in 15. You just see the number coming towards us here.
No, luckily you did, mate. How could you see that? He didn't even run towards us with his number. Now he's Nostradamus.
Classic Morgan
Campbell.
X-ray vision, just looking through the shirts and up to the back.
What a turnaround in this game, though. I mean, numbers notwithstanding. I mean, Kurri, they just scored. They were 6-all, and they were coming back into the game. I mean, they'd weathered all this pressure.
Yeah.
And then they cop a bit of bad luck. The winger he sees the line, thinks it's the dead ball line, catches it, and then from there, it's an avalanche. It's such bad luck for them, and it's going to be really hard for them to pick themselves up now because Lakes are looking a little bit ravenous.
That should be play
and
on.
they've still got the ball. That's play on last.
Good call by Tom. In his 200th. Not you, Tom Taylor. Tom Aylett. Here's the kick downfield. Will come to you as Marcel. He's coming through. Can they trap Walker in goal? Marcel leads the race. He got away from Marcel. Walker's down the touchline. He's outside the 20. Now he's taken the tackle, Tom. 30 metres out from his own line. Let's go touchline. Thanks to Benedict Waste Recycling.
Marcel Ikanofo just went a beeline straight for Ryan Walker. Didn't realise he was leaving his whole blind side open, and Ryan Walker just put a right footer on, and he was away. No one was in front of him, except for the people that were in the end at the 35 metre mark.
That's McCampton. Got the pass out the back door. Finds Hayden.
It's quite a sight, wasn't it? The big fella roaring down the touchline, but Kurri got some momentum here.
Young. Can he flick it? He does flick it. Neckow, he's got support. He can flick it before it goes in the touch. Great work. Finds Moran. He's dropped up. Oh, what about that? Lakes players down. They'll come the short side. Now they work the open. Barging their way forward is Young. Time off, Tom.
Stoppage. That's
stoppage. Just when they were on a roll.
They were. Josh Charles in 3. I've got to say, I'll be interested to hear what Tom has to say at the end of this set, but I think that was a bit unfair because he wasn't anywhere near the play.
So this is Terrence. Cullen. Short. Denied.
Oh, what a shame.
Changeover.
There was some tremendous play in the run-up to the end of that set. Ball coming out the back, offloads, basketball passes. And, Tom, what do you think about that? I mean, Josh Charles, he was down injured, but he was 15 metres behind the play. Do you think he should have called time off there?
I personally wouldn't have called time off there, but I think what happened was a trainer had run out, and once a trainer signals to the ref that they want time off, we're obliged to call it off. Now, whether he had actually fully examined Josh Charles or not, that's remained to be seen, but I'm sure that's the reason why he called time off.
Well, it was very fortuitous timing there for Lakes because Kurri had them shot to pieces on the back of all those offloads. That's what they can do. That was a warning shot for Lakes.
So Chance Burgess, halfway line. Campton trying to roll off him. Adams, meterage from dummy half. Round the rib cage and went up. The referee said play on. Down inside the 20 now. Still going. Tackled down on the 10. What a run there. The crowd loved that.
He made about 25 metres after the contact. That was extraordinary.
Chance if they come this side. Adams kicking, chasing for himself. Hits the post. Walker in trouble. No, he's not. He's going to get back, is he? No, he's not this time. They're going to bundle him into touch. Goal line dropout. Great tackling there from Lakes United.
We're seeing some exciting football here this last few minutes. It's been back and forth. Both sides are hoiking it about, hitting hard, tackling hard. This is a really good contest.
It's bubbling along. That's our favourite word. That's the word of the day, Tom. Hashtag bubbling.
They absolutely have to hold on here. If Lakes going at halftime 24-6, God almighty, that's a mountain.
Well, hold on to your hat, Morgan.
4 and 3/4 minutes to go.
Staple it on. Let's see what can come of now. 4 to go. Aiming it hard and straight to Campton. And Gilmore. So 12 metres away. Leading by 10. Elimination semi-final. Burgess will score! Burgess has picked up his 8th try in 2016.
Well, he's got a double. We didn't have any trouble spotting him that time. He just ran into the gap, but Chris Adams there jumping out of dummy half. He took about 3 defenders out just by weaving his way across the field. And then all he had to do was put it on the chest of Chance Burgess, who was able to find his way to the line. And, I feel for them, but that's a bit of a death blow there for Kurri. 20 points to 6 here. 4 minutes to half time. It's the exact thing they didn't need.
Let's go touchline. Tommy Taylor.
Yeah, mate, that was a good one. Good line there from, I'd like to say who it was, but it was hard to see the number. But not even the last-ditch effort from Ryan Walker to strip out that ball could do anything. Was it 12?
Well, let's ask Morgan. Was it 12,
yeah, Morgan?
Morgan can see through anything.
It was 15.
Thank you.
Appalling. But just appalling.
What's appalling? The try? That was
Now,
a great try, mate.
Hang on, we've got official drama here. There's a second ball on the field.
Did you say official drama?
Yeah,
What's unofficial drama? Where have we all been today, Tommy? Let's go back down to you.
A different planet to me. That's where you've all been. Here's Murray.
Here's the kick. He's on the right planet. He seals the deal.
Well, 3 minutes to half time here. The thing about this game is that in general play, I mean, Kurri have showed a little bit, haven't they? But they're just losing too much territory without the ball. Lakes forwards are really rolling on, and it's making life very difficult for them. And I mean, the line marking thing has turned the game, but the pattern had already been set, it must be said.
What planet are you on, Tom?
Mate, I'm down on the halfway line. I can tell you this, the Lakes bench, they are noisy. They are screaming at each other. The vibe is good, and Kurri, unfortunately, they've just gone a bit quiet in the last 5 minutes. So I think they'll be looking forward to half-time.
This is going out on the full.
Ah, damn it.
One thing, then comes another.
Well, dear,
Compounding errors. Penalty.
I don't think, I don't think they can have any excuses with that one. Murray now with a kick for touch. They're going to be 40 out. They're going to start another set. They've got the roll on here. There's a bit of huffing and puffing going on here. The house is wobbling.
The foundations are shaking. Adams. Inside the 20. Wyborn. And Campton over the top. Back to Chris Adams. Away to Murray, turning it back. Adams again. The Lakes of old. Have they hit their groove?
They're a lot sharper in the middle, aren't they, with Adams snapping out a dummy half and throwing those passes. It's getting the Kurri defence going backwards on their own line like this.
Danger time. And you'll find that's Dylan Harton. That is him. That's Chrissy Adams. That's the last tackle. Sullivan gets it back. There's a chance. He'll go himself. He'll reach out. Hits the post. Oh, is his head still on?
Well, if it is, it'll
How's
be sore.
his head?
It'll be sore. Tom Aylett's called a halt here, just so that everybody can check that they've got the same number of teeth they did before that play. Jay Sullivan must have thought he was going to score there. It opened up for him quite accidentally as the ball came spewing forth out of that tackle. But now Kurri coming off their own line here. They should survive the next 55 seconds, get into half-time and try and plot a course back into this game. Well, they should survive. Oh, dear.
Gone forward.
That's a knock on there from Ben Wyborn running onto the ball. They've got 40 seconds on the clock and Lakes are going to pack the scrum.
Right, Tui's new padding has served its purpose this year.
30 seconds. So
Danger
the trick shot is on.
What's the score? 22-6.
They might take one off the scrum and then maybe try something on the last play of the half.
Charles takes them on. Campton drops off. Play continuing. I think you'll find that's Boss in 16. It is him. Now it comes back through the middle again. Murray. Here's a chance.
Beauty
Great
from
tackle.
down Nickau. That was a pearl and needed to be made too.
Oh, what about that ball? It's tunnel ball. Oh, now it's gone over the sideline thanks to the Bulldogs. But how about that tunnel ball?
Two very telling contributions there. The tunnel ball was very wily from Brad Murray and gave them the numbers. But first it was the tackle one-on-one from Dow Nickau on the rampaging second rower. That was try time if he didn't make it. And then the knockdown from Cameron Moran. It just gives them just keeps them alive. They would have been all over if one of those tries had been run in. But it's 22-6 at half-time, so they've got a mountain to climb anyway.
A standing ovation for Lakes United, Tom, as they come off the field in the first half.
Yeah, mate, a lot of people at the gate wishing them well for the second half. Kurri seemed to be just walking in a little bit, and then motivation isn't there. Hopefully Phil Williams will give him a bit of a rev up at half-time. I might see if I can sneak in and hear what's going on.
Good stuff, mate. You do that. Well, throughout the year, Bar TV have been trying to get around to as many clubs as we can throughout the week. And in the middle of the season, we went up to the Kurri Bulldogs. And it was very nice of Mick Campton to do his own show. He wanted a show. We said, well, why don't you do one? Here it is right now. This is the Mick Campton Show of 2016.
Hi everyone, this is Mick Campton. We're at Kurri Bulldogs training tonight. We'll see what we can have a look at and see if we can get around and talk to a few of the boys. Well, look who we got here. First off, we've got Ethan Niscott.
Hey, how are you?
Good, thanks Ethan, how are you?
I'm good.
A couple of weeks ago you made your debut.
Yeah.
How'd you find that, playing with the older blokes like Terrence and Brock Gilmore and blokes like that?
Oh, awesome experience, eh? Like, learnt so much and just heaps keen to do it again.
Righto, so you got any words of wisdom for the younger fellas around?
Oh, just keep trying. Like, boys are doing well. They'll get there in a couple of years, so hopefully, we can all play together. Be good.
Righto, hopefully you mean play football together.
Yeah.
Hi everybody, this is Andrew. How you going, Andrew?
Yeah, not bad self, mate.
So how you liking your first year at the Kurri Bulldogs, considering you come from Greater Branxton?
Yeah, great club. Yeah, heard really good things about it. Just the culture here and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm loving it. Beautiful.
What, you talking about me, or you talking about the actual club?
Campo.
Thanks, mate. Thanks a
You're
lot.
right. You're right, mate.
So you're enjoying it pretty good. You going to stay on, or?
Yeah, I'll definitely be here next year. Yeah, for
Right,
sure.
good. I might have to not retire so I can play.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers. Hello, everybody. This is Jeff, the General Manager of Polglaze. He's the go-to man at Kurri Bulldogs.
Thanks, Mick, for the interview. I've been on the air with Pete this afternoon talking about the Mark Hughes Foundation, and the boonie is on this weekend. So there they are. They're last year's. This year's will be on sale at the ground from 12 o'clock. There's a couple hundred to sell. So hopefully everybody comes and buys one for the weekend. All right.
Okay, thank you, Jeff.
Okay, thanks, Mick.
We've got one question here for the Newcastle Rugby League. What's going on with the Mountain Men?
The Mountain Men, it's the Maritime Men, champ.
Sorry, Maritime Men.
Maritime Men. Nah, there's nothing to talk about there, mate. We ain't taken off. That's a new band I've just started, but no, we're not going anywhere. No gigs as of yet. Maybe this week, actually. Station Hotel, 10 p.m. on Saturday.
So you're planning on Battle of the Bands at Station Hotel Kurri?
Depends how many blokes we've got in our band, but if I can get a run, I'll do it for sure. No worries. If you want, do you want to sing?
I can't sing, but
Get this bloke to sing. KR.
Geordie Mitchell, how you going?
Good, mate. Yourself?
So, how are you finding training so far?
Fun, enjoyable. Just, having a go, which is all that counts.
Nice, very good. So, we heard from Jeff that you were played in the Rebels side this year. Is that true?
Yeah, under 18s.
That'd be Kiddie's side, is that right?
Yeah, Stephen Kidd.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, very good. You're very, very talkative there, young Geordie. Don't be shy.
No, I'm not, mate. I'm not. No, I had fun with the Rebels. It was a good trip away to semis. Just got beaten Golden Point at the end, but...
Yeah. No, that's no good. You're back here to enjoy the time at Kurri, but...
Yeah, exactly right.
All right, thanks.
Thanks, mate.
You get in trouble. No, you'll get in trouble, Jeff, mate.
There's curry out. Look at me hair.
Doesn't matter. Look at my hair. I've got a fucking beanie on. Oh. Hi, everybody. This is Kate Hardy. Kate, how you going?
Good, thanks, mate. Got me own mic. Cheers.
You're looking a little bit less smooth than last time we had an interview.
Yeah, mate, shirt on this time. Copped a bit of stick from the boys last time, so haven't got the best rig. It's a bit pale at this time of year, so, I keep the kit on for this time of season, mate.
Right, so you never thought of a solarium or anything like that?
I don't have the cash, mate. Those things are a bit expensive. I'm just playing for fun here.
I don't own one, mate. I don't know. Oh, look, yeah, you got a bit of ink there. What's the...
it rubs off. No, it's just a bit of a hobby. Money's got to go somewhere. I'll get out of it. Money's got to go somewhere, mate.
So you're on that? Good at match payments?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, massive match payments here. It's like Granger's playing for free because I'm getting his as well. So that's.
So is that true, Hayden?
Is that true? I'll pay for the fun of it, mate. I'm still playing under 10.
Many people around Kurri are saying you should still be playing under 10s, but that's that's how it is. So that's all we got, I suppose.
This is the Hayden Granger Bashathon.
Well, mate, results speak for themselves,
Right, here we've got a bit of a brother connection here. We've got Reed and Jono Alchin. So, boys, what are your thoughts on playing at the same club together?
A bit of fun. Nice to be with him.
It's always happened through juniors, and then we got a bit older and went to a different club, just chasing a bit better footy. Now he's finally back. It's been good. Only had about one game with him, so hopefully he can step up a bit better. Might get a few more games.
Okay, so he's stepping up and chasing you. Is that right?
Yeah, hopefully.
I'll try and do,
All right, so I also believe that your dad, is he the coach of the 19s, is that true?
Yeah, he's the coach. He's doing an all right job, I guess, you could say.
You guess, okay. All right, so what are your thoughts on that, Jono?
Oh, he had the job last year, we went all right, but they've got a few bit better boys this year, so hopefully he can get them there. So it should be all right.
Okay, no dramas. Thanks, boys. Thanks for your chat.
No worries.
All right.
The legend of Kurri in Stewie Stoker. His nickname's actually 8-Ball Aiken. What are your thoughts on that, Stu?
No, it's not too bad. Freaking Robbo gave me at the season launch, but it's all right. I'm copping it now. It's fine. Take it as it is.
So as we mentioned earlier, you were part of the All-Stars side that took out the premiership last year. How was that?
It was a good feeling. It's a hard couple of games to get there, you know. It's a good team last year, heaps of old boys. A lot of boys are retired now, which is a lot of young fellas coming up, which is good. But yeah, last year was a really good year for us.
So with the blokes you're talking about that are retired, you've got Mick Carr, Scooter,
Yep.
Colo,
Doyley.
So they're
Hedgie.
Hedgie, yes. They're all like, what, 45, 50, are they?
I'm not sure about your age, aren't they?
21?
Yeah, perfect. It's left a big gap in the club, you know, but that's why us young generation is stepping up now and looking forward for the future.
Very good. Thanks a lot.
No worries.
The last interview, Cambo caught me a bit unawares with the no shirt, which is a bit of a dog act. I'll have to get the mic on him next time in the sheds and, you know, catch him coming out of the shower or something to sort of keep the fans happy. You know, me and young Hayden, one of my mates, like to mimic you of a weekend. So, you know, keep up the good stuff.
Can you do a Morgan?
No, I'm already. I can't do it. I can't do it without him. Sorry, it's a behind closed doors kind of thing.
It's after 8 o'clock.
Yeah, it's
right,
a few
mate.
beers deep kind of thing.
Yeah. Good luck.
Cheers, mate.
They kick anything in goal area. Here's a chance. There's.
And we're back for semi-final football right here on Bar TV Sports. 22 points to 6. Can the Kurri Bulldogs get back into the match? Will Lakes allow them to? We've seen seesawing games in the last few weeks, so I'm not prepared to write off the Bulldogs just yet. Let's go down to the touchline. Tom Taylor, were you able to find out any information at half-time, mate?
Yeah, mate, I was able to hear a few things that were said in the Kurri dressing shed. Most of the talking was done by Captain Terence Searcy. All he was telling his blokes was to put your heads up and make it so at the end of the day, you're going to feel like you've done the best job possible. Okay, so he just needs everyone to keep their heads up, work hard, no walking, any chance you can to run, and just put all your heart and soul into this one game.
Well, I mean, they've had bad luck, but Kurri can't win unless they can't win if they do that. That's a turnover, 45 out. But they first of all can't turn the ball over, but they can't win if they keep conceding so many metres up the centre. They're getting carved up through the middle. I've said it in the first half. The Lakes forwards are just strolling through them, and if that keeps happening, well, it's going to be, as I said, a long afternoon. They'll keep taking their chances, though, Kurri. I mean, you never know. If they keep taking their chances and throwing the ball around and a few things work for them, they might be able to get back into it. But this is not the start that they needed to understate things.
So that's the 40-metre line. That's Sullivan. They're about to hit the Bulldogs 30.
We've got that bizarre seagull noise going over the PA at the moment. I assume it's confusing people who are here for the first time.
So Adams away to Randall. Granger's got him. Adams again. Sullivan up quickly. Thanks to Cullen. So 10 metres away. Murray bobbled, lost. Sigh relief goes up around the ground from the fans that have travelled down from Kurri.
Yeah, there's plenty of them too, it must be said. There's a good Kurri contingent here. They made plenty of racket. I think the loudest moment of the first half for the Kurri supporters was when Josh Charles went down injured when Kurri were attacking the Lakes line. There was great uproar about that. But this is a great place to come and watch a game because most of the crowd's in the one place in the grandstand here. It's only small and fairly compact, and they make a hell of a lot of racket. Now, what on earth's gone on there, Tom? We just had Tom Aylett dragging something behind the goal line. Can you explain?
Is that a dead seagull?
No, someone had just left their jacket at half-time. We had a few kids on the field, and someone's just left their jacket in the in-goal there, in the actual in-goal, not in just the short in-goal, it's the actual in-goal. I know we've got two lines at either end, but yeah, Tom Aylett, the referee, had to act as ground manager and get rid of it.
Geez, they're wily, these Lakes fans, eh? There's nothing they won't try.
So if you just joined us here, we're at Carl Oval. It's elimination semi-final day. It's week 1. Loser bows out of the competition for this year. Dominant display reflective on the scoreboard. Here's the kick going straight down to Gulmia. 8 tries this season. Been blistering form when they've been able to notch up 8 wins throughout the season. That is Varka. Varka's picked up 5 or 6 of himself. Adams, remarkably, hasn't crossed the white stripe this year. In his second game back from the Newcastle Knights. And you can just sense the Seagulls lifting with him. And this is why he's just in automatic pilot mode, and his players around him responding tremendously well. Down inside the 20 they stumble, and the Bulldogs are there in numbers. Siu in there as well. Comes back there now to Murray. Long pass to Sullivan. That's the 5th tackle. So it's going to be a turnover. Back to the Bulldogs. Let's hear a thought from Morgan Campbell.
Well, a bit of chatter on Twitter at halftime from a few people talking about that incident with Cameron Moran and the 2 dead ball lines. A few people saying, well, it's been like that for years and all that, which is very true. I think, certainly it's true that that's something you have to know when you come to Lakes, that's going to be an issue. But by the same token, I think most people would agree it shouldn't be an issue. And I mean, if the Newcastle Rugby League are able to say which gates are open at the ground, I notice they've only got one gate open today. If they're able to control that sort of thing, surely to heavens they can control the line markings on the field in a semi-final.
Just from down at the touchline, when I look out at the field now, it's no different to all these lines of sand out on the field.
Cullen.
If Kurri are going to get back into this game, he's the man that has to see a lot of the ball, because we've seen him do it plenty of times over the years. Mitch Cullen, hang on, this isn't a good start.
Hobbling.
He's in a bit of trouble. I was about to say he's one of those blokes that can sort of make something out of nothing, but just at the moment he's got what looks like a pretty serious either knee or hamstring problem here, and he's coming from the field, so that might be the end of that bit of insight from me.
Looks like Holman's about to come onto the field as well, Tom.
Yeah, mate, Holman's going to go on. He'll play dummy half, and then you got young Hayden Granger in the number 15. He'll move into the halves, Pete. I think. I imagine that's what they do.
So Terence Siu has got the ball in 2 hands. Takes the line on. And he's dropped down just inside the Lakes territory. They'll kick off the boot of Holman. He's going to kick it straight down to Gulmia. They're coming through. Holman, he was able to beat Holman. Trouble, all right. The crowd erupting. And now the Bulldogs' faithful applause. That tremendous tackle on Gulmia.
He's had a really good year, Jamie Gulmia. He, of course, played fullback mostly for reserve grade last year. Their fullback from last year, Jack Mackin, left the club, and Gulmia had the chance with Cole Kennedy to play a bit of fullback in first grade, and I think he's done a terrific job. He's very, very quick and has that ability to get the defenders going backwards with his pace at the line.
So Adams working back to the right-hand side, looking for opponents, looking for players around him. Found Harton.
Great tackle down low there.
They're up quickly on Murray. They've stolen the ball off him. They have stolen the ball off him. Touchline, Tommy Taylor.
No, I think the referee's going to rule this as a knock-on. So Lakes have knocked this into the Kurri players, and then Kurri have probably knocked on in there somewhere as well. So the smart thing here, we'll just back a scrum. Kurri will get the ball, but at the controlled restart of a scrum.
Tom's having a good game out there, Mr. Aylett.
Yeah, he's having a very good game, actually. I haven't got to see much of Tom Aylett this year because I'm always refereeing in the same time at 3 o'clock. So, no, it's good. I haven't seen him ref in a couple of years, actually. And, I must say he's doing a very good job.
Mate, you're never going to go past him in the pecking order if you keep bigging him up on the bar TV. You got to stick the boot into him a little bit.
In saying that, actually, I think that was a Kurri knock-on, so I think Lakes should get the ball. No, I'm joking.
He'll be back in first grade.
That's more like it.
That's more like it. We like that.
Got to get a bit of competitive tension amongst our referees, Peter.
That's his
yeah, very good
200th.
point.
We've got to go quite.
Yeah, we've got to give him a go.
Give him a yeah.
No, he's had a good game. He hasn't.
Love your niggling work, Morgan, and the fans say that as well on the Twitter.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
What do you think they mean?
I'm not sure.
Hit us up on Twitter. Morgan would like to know what niggling means.
Oh, I know what it means. Well, I suppose you'd call it niggling.
What do you think it means?
I've got a few axes to grind today, I suppose.
What grinds your gears, Morgan Campbell?
So very many things. I tell you what grinds my gears. Poor line marking. That's the last. I'm not saying any more about it.
You're not leaving this ground, are you, until you find the curator?
I told you, it's not about the curator. Well, it's the Newcastle Rugby League. This is a semi-final. It's up to them.
Maybe the curator is a bit lazy and he doesn't want to go between league and football. Maybe we need to find a new... What jurisdiction are we in over here? Lake Macquarie region?
Well, there's no, just Peters, we look over to Barton Oval. There's no soccer markings on over there. We could always go over to Barton.
Exactly.
I don't think the players are like that, but hey, if we're going to be that pedantic about these soccer markings.
That's James Parker. Yes.
Interesting pattern to this game the last few minutes. Lake's just happy to go through their sets and they're not doing anything out of the ordinary. They don't need to. They're 16 points in front. It's Kurri who have to throw it about. We're seeing a few signs of that from them, but we haven't seen any sign of Mitch Cullen, so I don't think I can see him down on the bench either. So it looks like he might have gone up the tunnel, which is never a good sign, and he'd be a real loss for them if he's not to come back today.
You're smiling like a Cheshire cat, Morgan Campbell. I like it. You must be enjoying yourself in the sun. Here's a chance for Murray to enjoy himself if he can get off the ground and offload, and he does. Here's a chance. Here they come. Overlap out wide. Seagulls bashing and barging their way close, and now the Bulldogs bash and barge them in a touch.
Indeed. Well, I got to tell you, the Lakes crowd, and I got to say myself as well, just had that penciled in as a try. They had added the 4 points on the scoreboard. Varka looked absolutely nailed on to score there, but Cameron Moran recovered well, got him one-on-one, held him up for long enough that he got a bit of support, and they rolled him into touch. Well done. Good scramble from Kurri. That's exactly what Tom was saying. Terence, you told them at half time.
So 30 minutes remaining. Live and exclusive. Hammond. Good run. The crowd appreciate it. Now to Kate Hardy. He can be electric. Seagulls, they certainly know that. They were there in numbers. Back to his mate in Granger. They hit the halfway line. Last tackle. Granger. Trying to get it back with the bounce. Takes the tackle. Well, he bumped away. Or I should say, Ikanofo bumped away from Hayden Granger. Craig hits it to the 40-metre line.
Well, that's the sort of thing we're going to see from Kurri now. I mean, they're chasing points. That was a bit of a chip kick. It was just a little bit too deep and really relied on the bounce, but we're going to see more and more of that as Adams goes down this short side. Oh, and he got hit very hard in the back there. Perfectly legal there from Corey Holman, but geez, I bet he hurt his kidneys.
Welcome back to the Newcastle Rugby League. They don't hit like that in the National Rugby League, do they, Tom Taylor?
No way. I heard that from where I was standing. That was just a big thud. Shoulder on Chris Adams' back on his white number on the yellow and blue stripes, may I add. That's where the hit was.
Murray, he says, let's drill it downfield and find the touchline. And that's exactly what he's able to achieve. Scramble pack down, 12 out from the Bulldogs line.
Well, you sense this next 10 minutes will decide a lot of things, won't it? I mean, either Kurri will get some points and sort of start coming back into the game, or Lakes will just gradually take the air out of the balloon. It's certainly what they're trying to do at the moment. But Kurri, they've got a lot of attack in the side. And they're one of those teams that they've been like it for a lot of years now, Kurri, that when they get a bit of momentum, when they're coming from behind and all that, they can be very, very hard to stop once they get going, once the offloads start happening and all of that. So I wouldn't pencil Lakes into the second round of the semis just yet.
Well, it was a similar score last week when Souths got up late. That was a mammoth margin as Hardy now finds Adams, and Adams is assisted by Craig. Penalty. This will help them get outside their own 20. The boos go around the ground here. Grandstand absolutely packed him. The defending premiers of 2015. Shining brightly thus far this afternoon. 28 minutes in the match remaining. Loser leaves the city for 2016. Seagulls and the Bulldogs. Which one is it going to be? The crowd urging their doggies on, who have come down the Hunter Expressway. See you. Trying to get it back. He does. He pops it out the back door. Now they're fumbling. Here's a chance. Gulmere. He's down the touchline. It's actually, yes,
no, it's
Charles and Gulmere was out there, but Charles got it, and Charles sprints downfield and gets the second try for the afternoon.
Well, that's a sickener. That's a real sickener for Kurri. I mean, they're using the ball on that right-hand side of the field, trying to keep it alive, and it's the sort of thing that happens to you, I suppose, when you're 22-6 behind. The bounce just went the wrong way for them there, and Josh Charles was never going to be stopped. Although, I must say, I saw Hayden Granger, very nearly a bit of a tribute to Darren Albert all those years ago, and Jared Mullen. Remember that at Shark Park when Jared Mullen was behind the play, getting his head strapped up, and Darren Albert made a break up field, and Mullen knocked him over? Well, Hayden Granger was getting some treatment on the try line, and all of a sudden came streaking across to try and stop Josh Charles, but he wasn't able to. Charles had a fair advantage there. 26-6 now, and just getting away from Kurri a bit now, you'd have to say.
Josh Charles takes his own personal tally to 7 tries this season. 2 of those 7 we've witnessed here today. Adams is coming off for a well-deserved break, and going on to him to replace him is Jack Kelly.
Well, I guess for Chris Adams, I mean, he's been at the Knights, about 6 weeks now, and his role there was very different to what it is here. I mean, he was sort of coming off the bench and doing a bit of a spell in the second half often, and sort of not playing any more than about 30 minutes. So 65 minutes into this game, 55 minutes into this game, he's probably entitled to feel a little bit leggy. And obviously Dean Noonan's feeling pretty confident as that kick goes over at 28-6. He's been able to take his star man from the field.
Might be also a case, Morgan, of just keeping him fresh for next week, so we don't have any worry about the possibility of getting injury with this big forward pack from Kurri, which just put a big hit on him before.
He's probably still feeling the impact of that. Have a look at this. That is athleticism in rugby league at its near best, if not the best. Running onto the ball, taking it into the glaring afternoon sun. Doesn't matter what grade you're playing.
It's a beautiful sight, isn't it? The big steamrolling run like that off the back fence. The defence had dealt with him well, though. Here's Jack Kelly. I was about to say, Adams has gone off, but Kelly's not a bad substitute. I mean, he's very quick, very lively, good with the ball. It's not necessarily going to get any easier for Kurri up the middle, especially given Kelly's got 25 minutes with fresh legs.
So Kelly again. Ideal replacement coming off, especially in the back end of this match, when Adams has certainly combined well with his charges here today. Real man of the match performance, just like this guy, Murray. An interesting week for Bradley, as they diffuse the situation quite well at the back here, the Bulldogs, in front of a huge crowd. They're up by 22 points here, elimination semi-final day.
I just noticed something on this right-hand edge for Lakes, and you'll just be able to see it in your screen now, right on the edge of that screen. You'll notice that the 4 there, Marcel Ikanofo, is playing on the wing at the moment, and Matt Craig in the 5's playing in the centres. I've seen them do that a little bit today. Certainly they're doing it in defence, but they seem to be doing it in attack as well, which is not something they've done a lot through the year.
Let's go downstairs. Here's Tom Taylor.
Just to point out, I was here last week in the Lakes West game, and I think Dean Noonan got a bit fed up with the way Marcel was defending in centre. I think he was being a little bit flat-footed at times, so they ordered him just to change in defence mainly. So obviously it's just flowed on to this game as well. But that's a good spot. I didn't actually see that before, and I'm right there.
Tom, he'll be with us throughout the entire final series. Counting down, of course, to the big one at Hunter Stadium in 3 weeks' time. They hit the line, they throw it. Marcel's got to go away in his sparkling fluoro yellow boots. And
well, that's what they got to do now, Kurri. I mean, Holman made the good little darting run out of dummy half. Just he puts himself about, doesn't he? He's a good little player. He'll be good for them for a lot of years if they manage to keep hold of him. And then try to get the offload away. It's a 1,000,000-to-1 pass, but 22 points behind, racing the clock. I think it's fair enough that you throw it and try your luck, and it just didn't quite work for them that time.
So the Seagulls, for our rugby league fans who don't usually watch the rugby league coverage here in Newcastle, they finished 4th this season. They won 8, lost 6, and had 2 draws, whilst Kurri finished in 5th place. That's why it's 4 versus 5 today. As we see now, Moran, the winger, pace, speed, agility, and takes a tremendous tackle over there. So again, they tack through the middle. There's a hush. Goes around the complex. An unusual hush. The fans they've definitely had a lot to get excited about here today.
I'm just thinking, we haven't, and Tom might be paying closer attention. Oh, that'll be an obstruction if he doesn't stop. Yeah, it is. It is an obstruction. Well, there you go. I was just about to say, Peter, Tom might know better than me, but I don't think we've had too many penalties in this game, particularly in the second half. That was a very slow ruck, the play before that obstruction from Ryan Walker, and I can't recall a penalty in the last 10 or 15 minutes.
No, Morgan, I think you're right. I haven't seen, a penalty hasn't stuck out for me in the second half at all. I think referee Tom Ayler's just finding reasons to play on, which seems to be working because the game's flowing really well. I mean, he's doing terrible. He's doing terrible. No, he's doing good.
They're in his 200th. So Kelly down to the 10-metre line. Finals football. Back to Sullivan. Marcel coming in off the wing, searching for his 6th try. Kelly again. They're up quickly. The ball was jolted out the back towards... Well, Murray was sandwiched. Absolutely sandwiched.
That was fruit salad there. That was anything. The ball bouncing around everywhere, and in the end, Kurri going to get it back. I mean, they're defending their own line pretty well. They're hanging in there. They're doing their best to keep pace at the very least. But they've now got 19 minutes 56 seconds on the clock. So time enough. I mean, they're 4 tries away. So it needs to start pretty quickly.
So Ryan Walker in 1. You've got the Newcastle Rugby League program in front of you. Nescott was scheduled throughout the week to go into 1, but Walker was called into the side late. Personally, a fantastic year for Walker. Represented again the Knights at New South Wales Cup level. And individually, pretty much in every match that he's been in, and we've seen a lot of the Bulldogs, he's led from the back, if you can say that. As the Seagull just goes floating across the screen here at Seagulls Stadium, as we like to call it.
Now, there's a forward pass here, but I think Tom reckons there was a punch as well, and the Linesman Greg Ricketts is coming in. Fastest linesman in the Newcastle Rugby League, but he hasn't turned on the pace yet.
Over 40. Fastest over 40, Rico. I think there was a punch from the number 11 from Kurri. That is Jaden Young. Whether it connected or not, that's a different story, but there was definitely a big swing and a big fan for the marker.
If you throw one and it doesn't land, I mean, are you entitled to be sin binned?
Oh, I don't know, Morgan. Well, technically you've thrown a punch. But if you score a try and then punch the air in celebration, is that the same thing?
I think you'd be very unlucky to get sin binned for that. Now then.
You raise a very good question.
Well, no, I've seen this happen in soccer.
Soccer?
I have. I saw a player once get sin binned for throwing a punch that didn't land. And the point that the referee made, the intent is still there.
Yeah, that's right.
Still, the fact that you didn't hit him and you're a dud thrower doesn't mean that you didn't throw it. So I guess, strictly speaking, that's... But if that's the case, it doesn't appear to be the rule here. Tom Ayler's having a long chat to Terence See-You, and they're going to get on with the game.
But I guess...
with a penalty to Lakes.
The alleged punch, you could just say he's just trying to stretch out his arm, maybe a bit of cramp. Yeah.
Just stretching the trapezius and the rhomboids.
Exactly, Tom. Just an unusual way of stretching out.
Well, when you think about it, a penalty taking the ball off someone is a lot more of a penalty than just a regular penalty. So they've taken the ball off Kurri as well as giving Lakes a shot at 2. So I think it's a really beneficial call for Lakes anyway, bin or no bin. All I can say on the swinging the punch that doesn't connect is a lot of times we have high tackles. There might be a swinging arm that the player ducks and it completely misses. We never penalise because it wasn't a high tackle.
Great to have Adam.
You watch, this will happen now.
It will.
In a game you're refereeing and you'll think, what the hell am I going to do?
You'll be jinxed now, Tom. Tom's on the sideline. Tremendous job. Tom Taylor, of course, an officiator in our Newcastle Rugby League, but his Murray will stick to the kick and will go to Morgan after it. Right in front, 30 metres out. He's got it.
Well, 30 points to 6, 18 minutes to go. That's clever there from Lakes. I mean, it really serves two purposes, doesn't it? I mean, not only does it give them an extra point, an extra couple of points, like Kurri now have to score 4 converted tries, but it also just takes 2 minutes off the clock while Murray lines up the kick and puts it over. So they're just draining the sand out of the hourglass here. I don't know if you can drain sand, but let's say for argument's sake that you can. And, Kurri, they starting to see this get away from them a little bit here. I wouldn't be surprised if... hang on.
Kick and chase by Walker. He's trying to take on...
Well...
he's raked it back, but he's going to say a knock on. So you're saying we're watching an episode of Days of Our Lives?
Quite possibly, yeah. I tell you what, you don't often see that type of short kickoff. I didn't mind that. It's the sort of thing that could almost work.
Did you get a sort of tingling feeling?
Oh, let's not go too far. I just said it was clever.
Tom, down on the sideline. Sort of sensation did you get from that, mate?
I got the tingles, Pete.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, mate. I got those tingles because you don't see them very often.
We're on the same page.
You see the high crossfield bomb kickoff, but you never see the kickoff that's designed to be regathered by the kicker offerer.
Adam Bettridge is joining the conversation on Twitter.
He'd be enjoying himself this weekend, presumably with the feet up.
Yeah.
Enjoying the week off. Oh, look out. There's another stink.
Here, yeah, Josh Charles has just told Joel McCain to get back and tackle. As we see the Seagulls barging again through the middle, through Chris Randall. So that's the 40-metre line. Back to Boss. Again to Kelly. That's Harton. Just squatting the Bulldogs off like flies on that occasion. Here's the kick. There's the chasers coming through. Will it set up? I bet it will, and they have to take it dead. Kate Hardy was in all sorts of trouble.
Yeah, well, he probably didn't know where the dead ball line was.
Yeah,
it was Cameron Moran. That's right, poor bugger. He's copped it twice.
Hey guys, are we talking white paint?
We are talking white paint.
I'd love to know, Adam, if you're listening, mate, Adam Bettridge.
Sorry, Adam got in touch. You didn't tell me what he said.
Oh, he was just saying that it was a terrible mistake by Kurri and that'll about do it for Lakes. But I'd love to know, if you're a coach in a semi-final series, does it take an incident like the one we've seen in the first half to actually erase the football markings here? I know it's been going on since eternity.
I hope so.
Here, but what does it take to get rid
maybe that'll be it.
of the football markings?
Well, of course,
here?
it's irrelevant now. I mean, we won't be back here.
We won't be back here, but they've got 12 months to think about it.
They certainly do.
Tom, what do you think, mate?
Yeah, it'd have to take some sort of miraculous error of some sort that decides a game, a very important game, for him to change anything. But we're talking to Adam Bettridge. I think the Toronto Lyle Peacock Oval is used for.
Here's a chance. Stepping their way to the goal line. Held. Varka plays it back. Murray kicking for himself. Can he get down and ground it?
Well, again, I thought they were nailed on the score on that left-hand side. I've got to say, Kurri, they must be playing some sort of compressed defence on that side because as Ikanofo goes for a run himself here, he might get that down.
I think that's Varka.
No, he hasn't. It's a penalty.
Yeah, Varka's over there. See, there it is again. There's those numbers again.
Well, notwithstanding that, every time Lakes have gone down that left-hand side for them, Curry's right, they seem to have had numbers. So it's been a real problem for Kurri today. They probably, to be fair, could have scored more points down there because we've seen one intercept go down, we've seen one knocked down into touch, we've seen one where Varka was put into touch when he seemed certain to score, and then that one there. So, you know, it could have been even more.
So the Seagulls continuing to fly into week 2 of the semi-final series. See you again. Walker kicking. Gulmere sees the ball glide past a flying seagull. And the ball goes into touch 20 metres away on elimination semi-final day for the Newcastle Rugby League.
Well, it looks now like it's going to be Lakes in action next week. And they'll be playing the loser of tomorrow's game between South and West Newcastle. That's 3 o'clock tomorrow at Townsend Oval. We'll be in action there as well, of course, Peter. And that should be an absolute pearler of a game again. Those two sides have played twice this year. Once South rallied from a long way behind to get past them with a big second half charge. And the other game, West scored late to force a draw. So we should be in for a real cracker tomorrow as well.
Adams got back to us on the text, Morgan.
Yes.
Toronto is Wembley. Please never, ever compare it to Belmont's Sandfield, Morgan Campbell.
I didn't compare it. It was Tom.
Tom Taylor, who's going to take
I was definitely not going to compare it to this oval. I was just going to say that Toronto Awaba Football Club also use it as their home ground as well. So it's also a soccer field.
Yeah.
However, they do a very good job of getting rid of the soccer markings. However, unfortunately, the green is so good and bright and it's very green that it just makes it very hard to see the lines sometimes too.
Chris Adams is coming back onto the field for the last 10 minutes for Lakes. Toronto is Wembley.
It's good to see. It's good to see that Adam Bettridge, coach of the minor premiers, he's just able to relax on the weekend off and snipe at us on Twitter a little bit. Good on him. I think it's good. He's as I said, I'm sure he's having a good relaxed weekend, and I'm sure he's watching this game very closely because Lakes, as much as they finished 4th and they had a rickety finish to the season, you wouldn't be surprised at all to see that. Oh, there's a knee lift there from Ikanofo. There's a bit of a nasty incident there. I'm just saying though, Lakes, you just wouldn't be surprised at all to see them come up against Macquarie at some point during this final series. You expect they'll be there for a few more weeks yet.
Well,
because they've looked very, very good today.
Well, when you go through the nucleus of the side here today that the Seagulls have put on, there's not that many players missing from today that actually made that grand final victory. That's Adams, out the back to D-Sax. D-Sax always striving for excellence, always striving for more ground.
Well, Adams has had a bit of a break and now come back on for this last 10 minutes.
That's him. Out the back. Sullivan, short. Gulmere, pushed. Walker, collected there from Moggett.
Now, this is just getting a little bit ratty out there. I mean, Kurri, the last 10 minutes of their season here, and there's, I know there was a little bit of niggle in the commentary box earlier. There's a little bit on the field just at the moment. A bit of push and shove after tackles, a few late bits of contact. Just wouldn't be surprised if, with Kurri's season over, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe one of them thought about taking a few Lakes players with them. Lakes have got to be careful. I mean, if someone from Kurri gets suspended, it's not their problem. You see now.
That's why the penalty was because of that niggle.
Yeah, that's right. It's been building, and if a Kurri player gets belts someone or throws an elbow and gets suspended, it's not really a problem because it doesn't come into effect until next year. If a Lakes player does it, it can affect them. They can miss a semi-final. So the Lakes players just have to keep their cool.
So he's got Holman there on his right, and see you on his left. And Aylett is just saying, guys, we've got 10 minutes left. Let's get that type of niggle out of the match as the Seagulls bang the ball downfield towards the club end of the field. Nice kick for touch. So they start their tackle count through Adams, giving it away now to Harton. That's him, still going down to the 10-metre line. Young holds on for dear life. We've got a Kurri
another player
down here, yeah. Just on the left-hand side of the screen there, just above the Benedict Waste Recycling. There he is.
It's Ryan Walker down there.
Walker, he's clutching towards his kidney area, back down towards the ribs, down that part, down south.
Yeah, might have had a hard fall just coming out of that tackle there.
There's been a few good impacts on the rib cage from both of these sides today. Like that,
it's been a hard game.
Belter on Adams, it was. Yes.
It's been a hard game. It's been keenly fought. Lakes have just, you can talk about some of the things that have gone on, and Kurri might have had some bad luck here and there, but I don't think you'd be able to say that Lakes don't deserve to win. They've been so good in the middle of the park. They've made so many metres through the forwards that there was only ever going to be one winner while ever that was the case.
So Adams again. Finds the big prop in Hoggett. Offloads it. Here's a chance if they can get there. Matt Craig offloads, and Ikanofo picks up his...
No, he doesn't.
No, he's been denied.
They've said forward pass
Forward pass.
Well, see, that's very interesting because Matt Craig, I haven't seen him play a lot of centre. Yeah. And it's one thing to have him defending there in defence. Standing at centre in defence. If they think that Ikanofo's got some issues in defence, I can understand putting him on the wing. But now they've got Craig playing in the centres in attack as well. So one wonders whether that might carry on into the finals because it's a pretty significant change. It's just, for one thing, defenders won't be too unhappy because Ikanofo has one pass further away from the ball.
Hey, Tom, we go down to you for Benedict Waste Recycling, mate, as we head into the final series. Communication, it's well alive between the referees and the sidelines, because we had a few gremlins earlier in the season.
Yeah,
you got your equipment
boy,
back.
Did we. It took a couple of complaints for the Newcastle Rugby League to give us some money to put towards this communication gear. I can tell you, Pete, brand new set out there for this game.
For this game?
Not brand new, but just hasn't been used today.
Fantastic.
It's not 4 games in.
Walker's trying to get fresh legs from legs that have really pushed him individually hard this season, and he's just getting up slowly. Inside the 40 here from CU, kicking away from Goulmere as the Seagulls, the bird variety, go across the screen again. You love coming here. Plethora of birds around the ground, flying, sailing above your head. We could call it the bird park here. Back it comes now. Sullivan's gone behind him. Scooped up by D-Sax. Tries to run away from Holman, but Holman takes him sideways. So Adams again, dishing it across this time to Casey Burgess. That's the 40 of the opposition. Quick go forward. Adams again. He's back. He's prepped. And he's ready to take on any team along with his own side in the weeks ahead. This final series, it's going to live up to expectation, that's for sure. Moran's in trouble. Goal line dropout here at Carl Oval on a glorious afternoon for football.
Yeah, it's been a tough afternoon for Kurri, really. 30-6 down with 7 minutes to go here. But I think they're entitled to be pretty proud of the year that they've had. They were coming off a couple of difficult years. They seem to have a lot of bad luck at the club. They had a lot of injuries and all that sort of thing. They got themselves, and then they had a really ordinary start. They lost a lot of games early in the season that they should have won them, and they hit the post with a field goal here against Lakes. They were in front by a few against Wests and got run down. There are a lot of those games early in the year, as there's a high shot there on Matt Craig. and a bit of stench afterwards. Oh, look out. But they recovered really well. They pulled off a few upsets and they've got themselves into the finals. And I think they'll be better for it next year.
So don't forget, we'll be on air tomorrow at 2:45 when we head across to Merriweather for the clash between Souths and Western Suburbs Rosellas in the qualifying final. And then, of course, on Wednesday, the 31st of August, we have the 2016 presentation evening. That night, of course, will be at the Newcastle Rugby League Leagues Club. We look forward to that. We'll all be there. We'll see you there, Tom, on the touchline. Morgan, your invitation.
I haven't received any invitation.
Just walking backwards.
Would you like to
mate.
sit at the referee's table, Morgan?
Then, of course, we've got the referees.
I wouldn't be welcome there, I don't think. I've given them too much stick over the course of the season. Big chance for Lakes here. They can just buff the margin out a bit and put an attacking play on. They might be able to try something here that they wouldn't normally try in a knockout game.
So Adams looking around for options. Hoggets is on his right, cuts out Hoggets, goes to Kelly. Sullivan kicking. Chasing is Craig and Ikanofo. And they see the ball go over the dead ball line.
Well, the poor old Kurri winger there nearly ended up in the car park. He was watching Joel Harrison. He was watching that just trickle towards the dead ball line, and in the end had to pick it up. But yeah, I guess for Lakes here, I mean, they've got 5.5 minutes. They've got a chance maybe to try a set play or a training ground move that in play match conditions, you know.
Oh, the fans just looking around. The next generation of rugby league followers. They're pretty young, but they love their Lakes United Seagulls, and they're here with their parents, and good on everybody. It's a breeding place for rugby
Valentine
league
Devils
here.
juniors down here we've got.
Valentine Devils.
There
Good
you go.
Stuff. Little 5/8 in the making down here, just off to our right in the box. Good to see you coming out. Here's the kick.
Going for the 40-20.
He's going all out.
Oh.
Sends Goulmere back. Welcoming reception, of course, there by Moran. Beats him. Goulmere's away.
Very evasive one-on-one, Jamie Goulmere. He's been a really good addition for Lakes this year. I mentioned earlier, very evasive runner with the ball. And it's probably not going to come out so much today because the games, a lot of the sting's gone out of the game. But over the next few weeks, if there's games that are close, someone like him with that style of running and that turn of pace could be really important in the last 10 minutes of a knockout.
So Adams again. Chris Adams. Doing good things since he's returned. Here's the kick. Sullivan says, let's play it down in that deep corner, in that southern end. And that's where he finds Moran. And that's where Moran finds Goulmere along with Ikanofo. And they wrap him up there along with Matt Craig. So that's Hardy. The party will be on in Wickham tonight. Kate Hardy loves to throw a party, doesn't he, Tom, on the touchline?
Yeah, mate, I think I can hear him talking about it already.
I think so.
Him and Granger and maybe Ethan Niscott will be out in town.
Robert Street will be going off. I might invite you along for a few drinks, Morgan. They're a fan of your work, mate. Everybody is. They love the Campbell.
I'd be very surprised.
Everyone loves doing a Campbell.
I notice, there's a nearly knock on there. I notice Cameron Moran's staggering a little bit behind the line. He looks like he's picked up an injury. He's had a bit of an afternoon. You've got to feel sorry for him, really. I mean, he had that drama with the dead ball line. He's had a lot of traffic sent his way this afternoon and had a few near misses with intercepts and things like that. So he's rather been in the wars, and now he's looks like he's picked up a lower leg injury for his trouble. So I think he'd be pretty happy to get to full time at this stage.
So Aylett there just saying to Matt Craig, go back beyond the line and play it.
One of them should have said which line.
Oh,
sorry, I got to stop. Sorry.
Red line, red fever. That's a boom boom, Adams. Incredible performance here by Lakes. 30-6. Their season will live on for another week. Sudden death football all the way through. Final series. Kelly goes high.
I think Charles is offside here.
Well, Charles is after his hat trick.
Yeah, he is.
Penalty blown.
Yeah, he was in front of the kicker all the way there, Josh Charles.
So
can't have any arguments for that one.
The crowd here staying around. They'll get one hell of an applause after this match.
I've got to say, Peter, I'm a little bit disappointed this is the last game here for the year. I really do like coming here. It's always loud. It's always raucous. The Lakes fans, I think maybe because they had a few really hard years, they're really quite they're into it now, and they really get behind their side. So it's been another good year of coming to Carl Oval.
We've got too many balls on the field, footballs. 40 metres out from the line. That's, what a run by Young. Impact, you could hear that. Back up in Kurri. Wyborn. Is that his last run in season 2016?
Been a rough year for Coalfields Rugby League, really, hasn't it, for that lower Hunter area? I mean, as Gilmore gets this ball going here to Walker, of course, Cessnock didn't make the finals.
Deserves a try. Oh, he's tripped over, done a somersault as well.
He did well to hang on to that.
He did. That's the class of him. That's Terrence. He's going to go for a cross-field kick. They're coming through. I think they'll find Nick Howe wants it. Nick Howe's come down with it. Nick Howe's going to claim the try. Is Aylett going to give it to him? He does. Well, they've finished 2016 off in grand fashion with a try.
Have. Yeah, down Nick Howe there. Did well, kept chasing, and that's what Terrence CC was talking about, as Tom said at halftime, to keep pushing until the end. He just hoisted the bomb there, rolled the dice, and through they came and fell on the ball. So tidies up the scoreboard a little bit, 30-10. The kick will go over. It'll be 30-12, and Bob's your uncle. I was about to say, Kurri, you know, they're going out and their season's over today, but they're entitled to feel pretty proud of themselves. Out of those three Coalfield sides, Cessnock, Kurri and Maitland, they're the only ones to make the finals. Maitland finishing last, Cessnock missing out. So in what has been not a great year for that part of the world in rugby league, Kurri have done the region fairly proud, I think it's fair to say.
Well, they're going to give Ben Wyborn now the chance to convert the try.
Oh, in his 200th or 150th?
100th.
Oh, okay.
Can
he feels like he's been around longer.
100th first grade.
Can he do it? No.
Just put your flags up.
Oh, Tom Taylor, you can hear him just off air there saying, put your flags up. But ladies and gentlemen, elimination semi-final, it's over. Lakes United live for another week. Kurri hang up the boots for 2016. Final score here in the elimination semi-final. Lakes United, too good, 30 points to Curry's 10. Let's go down to Murray. No, Murray's not down there. Oh, I thought we had the curator. But Morgan, thoughts of this one, mate?
I think what you said just now is exactly right. I think it was just a case the Lakes were a bit too good. They were a bit too strong up the middle. They made too much ground with the ball, and Kurri, I just think there was a bit of a difference in class today. Kurri had really had it over Lakes throughout the season, but on this big occasion, I think Lakes lifted. They were very, very good. They didn't make a lot of mistakes. They didn't give much away. And the chances, you know, Kurri took a lot of chances in the game, and it just didn't quite come off for them. And there was always a chance that might happen. So I think it's probably the correct result today, and about a pretty fair reflection, I think, on the scoreboard of how it all went. And so Lakes go on to next week, and they've got it's going to be a big ask for them, whoever they play, whether it's South or West. But of course, we'll find out tomorrow.
We will. We'll be on air tomorrow at 2:45. But I've just got to say before we sign off today, Justin Bumper Peterkin, what a champion, what a rugby league player he has been for the Kurri Bulldogs. He played his 300th game a few weeks ago when Kurri went down to Central, and we say thank you for everything.
So he's announced his retirement.
He's hanging up his boots,
well,
mate.
There will be flags flying at half-mast in Kurri over the next few days, because he's had a good career, Bumper Peterkin, a much-loved player. He's one of those blokes he'd come out onto the field in the 20, you know, off the back fence, carting it up off the kick-off, and the crowd would go up with him. It was always... A game at Kurri was always better. It was always a better atmosphere and a better spectacle if Bumper was running the ball up. So he's been a good servant to the club, and he'll be missed by the fans over down there, I'd reckon.
Yeah, well, he was never always destined for rugby league. He was telling us his mother didn't want him to play rugby league until he was at least 17, but he hasn't turned his back. And isn't the game of rugby league all the better for Justin Bumper Peterkin?
There's characters like him all through local clubs around around rugby league, and they do. They add something to the game.
Okay, boys, well, we better go home, rest up the tonsils. We'll be back on air tomorrow. Tom, great job down the sideline today, mate, for Benedict Waste Recycling.
Thanks, mate. Good fun. See you tomorrow.
Morgan, I'll see you tomorrow at Merriweather.
Can I just say before we go, but we've got the Lakes theme song happening here.
You want to sing it?
No, I don't want to sing it, but I love the theme song after the game. It's beautiful.
With the chirping.
See you tomorrow at Townsend.
We'll see you tomorrow at Townsend. Have a great night, everybody, and we'll be on deck tomorrow, live and exclusive, Newcastle final series of 2016 at 2:45 for the big one, South tackling West. We'll see you then.